In this video, we will look at the Interplanetary trip pad in Ableton Live 11 Lite. Welcome back to Ableton Live 11 Lite, here on Songwriting Explained. Today we're looking at another ambient and evolving sound. This time it's the Interplanetary trip pad, which sounds very exciting. So we're going to make a simple song again, only using this sound. Today we'll use a turnaround using the 1, 4 and 5 chords and also a first inversion. So let's begin as usual by deleting these audio tracks by right clicking and clicking delete. Okay, so today's sound, as you can see already, is the Interplanetary trip pad. So let's preview that. We can mute with this headphone icon here. Okay, so in order for us to use this sound, we need to load it onto a track. So we left click, drag to the first clip, and that will load into there. And you can see down here, we've got our trip pad. As usual in these videos, we're keeping all the default settings, so there won't be any tweaking here, but you can see what this sound consists of. Okay, what we need to do now is create the MIDI data. So if we double click on the top clip and the MIDI editor's loaded, as with all of these videos, we'll be using the scale or the key of C. So you click on scale, and here are the notes. Click on this headphone icon. We can hear our sound there. So for this video, we're using a 1, 4, 5 turnaround in the key of C. So the chords are C, F, and G. If you've seen some of these other videos, you'll see that creating the whole chords with these ambient and evolving sounds, you often get lost. You can't hear the whole chord. They're only really used for single notes. So I thought in this video, I would just play the bass note instead of an entire chord, and see if we have better results. You can always try the entire chord if you want when you're practicing on your own. First thing we need to do is change the length of this clip. So we come up here. It's going to be a 4-bar turnaround. Now the first bar would be the chord of C. But as we're only using the bass notes, we just need a C note. So scroll down. We'll use C2. It's low enough that it should allow a melody on top of it. So you double click to create the note. Then you see this little handle. You left click and drag to lengthen the note or shorten the note. Here we're going for a bar. So there's a bar of C. The second chord is the 4 chord, which is the F chord in the key of C. And the bass note in the F chord is F. So let's create an F note for a bar. Double click, drag. Now the third chord in our turnaround is another 4 chord, another F chord, but we're moving to an inversion. So an inversion uses the same notes, but it changes the lowest note in the chord. And as we're only playing the bass notes or the lowest notes in this progression, we need to change the note. So the note that is the lowest note in the first inversion of the F chord is A. So we need to go to A now. So there's A for a bar. If you want some more help with chord inversions, then check out our video on chord inversions, major chord inversions, and that should help you understand a bit further. Our final chord is the 5 chord, which is the G chord. And so in this example, we just go to G because G is the bass note of the G chord. Okay, so here's our chord progression. And if you want to play it, you can just go up to the clip. You see it's filled in with color now to show we've got MIDI data. Click play. And so that will just keep on looping until we click stop. Okay, so we've got a chord progression. What we'll do now is we'll create a melody using the same sound. So we left click and drag the Interplanetary trip pad again to the second track. Double click. Here's our clip. Change the length to 4 to match the chords. Okay, so here we're just going to create a melody just using random notes in the scale, changing their length and their positioning. This is where your creativity can really come in. So we want this a bit higher than the chords. So we'll go between C3 and C4, I think. So you can double click and start entering notes. You can loop just the melody if you want to build up like that, or you can play the chords in the background. So for example, you could do this, click here, click onto your enter like this. Play them back. Here we can just listen to the melody notes. You can see they're not very loud already, so we might have problems already. These notes I'm going to delete, so you can left click, highlight them, and press backspace on your keyboard. Okay, let's bring the chords back in. Okay, and then we can, you see this knob here, we can pan the track. So let's pan the chord slightly to the left and the melody slightly to the right. It seems to be that you need single notes and they need to sustain for a while in order to hear the sounds. I mean, it's hardly the greatest song in the world, but with these ambient tracks, the main idea with them is just for single sustained notes in the background. So to be able to create any sort of melody, any sort of song, is generally quite successful. But it's interesting to see what they sound like, and that is really the whole idea of these videos. It's also a really basic introduction to Ableton Live 11 Lite. Really just scratching the surface of what you can do. Okay, I'll stop that there. Thanks for watching. You can now understand the Interplanetary trip pad in Ableton Live 11 Lite. Please like and subscribe for more videos from Songwriting Explained. If you'd like some more Ableton videos, then there's a playlist for you on screen now.